All right, everybody, we're doing a party episode here. We're doing a little bit of a recap and a preview all in the same episode. And you probably wonder why I always do these intros from a different point of view, and that is because I forget to do them when I'm recording everything else. So, without further ado, the recap for the Monaco Grand Prix, and we're off to Barcelona. So this past week, we were in Monaco. What a cool looking place that is. Classic track. One thing that we've learned is these cars might be getting a little bit too large for the track. We might need to start thinking about shrinking those bad boys down because we had some gridlock on some of these turns in the very beginning of the race, which was kind of funny to see. A wet and wild race towards lap 55. It was almost comical. Dudes were just crawling around turns, which was hilarious to see. I think our man Sarge, will get to him. He might even hit a 3-point turn on one of those turns. I don't know what it's called. I don't know all the proper terminology yet. It seemed like one of the turns was called rat turn or something like that. It wasn't around rat turn though, but Sarge hit a 3-point turn. Our man Strolliolioli, he came barreling down one of the roads, just using the walls, pretty much as bumpers, bouncing off. I mean, no control. A lot of fun to watch this week. I think during qualifying, one of the most exciting qualifyings we've had in a while. We had 4 different guys at one point towards the end of Q3 sitting in that top spot, so that was very cool to see. Max put together a badass last run, just nailing walls and still getting the fastest time. So I think that car and that driver, it's a pretty good combo right now. Now we got to talk about it. The hometown hero from this past week, Charles. No, he couldn't get it done. He qualified 3rd, so things were looking like maybe if something works out, you could do it. But then he was given a penalty for impeding Lando's qualifying lap. Man, pushed him back to 5th place. Then it got wet, and then the Ferraris had to double stack at the pit stop. Luckily, Charles got in 1st this year, unlike last year where he got in 2nd, and that really screwed him. And he screamed and cried. This week just wasn't the week for him, man. I mean, at least he didn't start in 1st and then really get let down. So, Charles, our hometown hero, we're sorry, man. But you tried your best. My podium pick for Monaco was a total flop. I have now officially not gotten any right on the whole entire season. I am 0 for 6 on my podium picks. I thought that it was going to be Max in 1st, Checo in 2nd, and Alonso in 3rd. Checo just really blew it for me in qualifying and had no chance of coming back. So that was unfortunate to see. What we finished with was Max, and then Alonso, and then Ocon had a great race. Big props to him. That was cool to see someone kind of new on the podium. This week, we have 2 chances to get a hometown hero win, and I would say 2 pretty decent chances. We got our main man, really the talk of Formula One right now, Fernando Alonso, coming back to the home country. He has won this race 2 times before, like we mentioned, in 2006 and 2013. He's looking like he could be feeling pretty freaking dangerous. He might be our chance. He might be our chance of getting this done. Our other hometown hero we have is in the Ferrari, which puts him at a disadvantage because they're a little bit crazy. Carlos Sainz, or Sai, as we might call him. He has, I don't know how he's done. Let's see. All right, so last year was our man Carlos's best finish, 4th place in the Ferrari. He qualified 3rd. So he went down one spot. But he's been in the points every single time that he's raced here. The question is just going to be, can he get that first place that we're talking about? I feel like I put him on the podium every single freaking race that I predict. So this would be the classic one where I didn't. I mean, maybe we have the two Spaniards just going 1-2. It's possible. We would need some things to go very right for them, but you never know. So just for recap, also recapping, we are now 0 for 3 on Hometown Heroes. If we miss this one, we're going 0 for 5, and that's bad. So these boys better just buckle down and do well this weekend. Go Spain. Now let's take a look maybe at the Spanish Grand Prix podium picks. Max has won here twice. Alonso's won here twice. Lewis, my man Lewis has cleaned up here. I don't even want to look how many times he's won. It might be 6 times. So he likes it here. The car he has just isn't quite getting it done. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to say in 3rd place, I'm going to go with Alonso this week. In 2nd place, I'm going to say we got George Russell. And I'm going to be fun. I'm going to say Hamilton is back on top. The Mercs, 1-2. Alonso in 3rd. Yeah. Total guess.
We're going to win a race this year, and we're going to do this. Ice cream's my way back home, I guess you can say.
Sarge, we had such high hopes for you for your first race in Monaco. We thought maybe you could win the damn thing, but you didn't, which was okay because you didn't get any points either. So we have our pointless battle, which is good. Our man Sarge finishing in 18th place. He finished the race though, so we got to give him credit for that. This was kind of par for the course on street courses. So we almost really, I mean, people expected this. One person in the Bones Challenge even guessed that he would get 18th. So he was sitting in the back of the pack, having a tough time. Like I referenced earlier, I think I saw him put together a 3-point turn on one of them, which it was raining. And I mean, I couldn't do any better. I know that. I couldn't do any better, but the dude is a pro. And he's making it fun to watch this season. You know, he's doing some crazy stuff and hanging out at the back of the pack. And it makes the race a little bit more fun when you have Max out there in first, who's having no problem. And then you can look back at your man, Sarge, USA, baby. And he is just grinding at the back, getting it done. I mean, we are literally races away from this dude getting his first points of the season. And it's going to be big. So Sarge, when you are in Barcelona this week, which is, let me look at the track real quick, if you guys don't mind bearing with me, as we make our way. This is just a straight up, it's not a street circuit, so maybe that'll help us out. It looks like it's got just a big straightaway, a couple turns. I mean, this could be looking really good for our man Sarge this week in Barcelona. Let's get fired up. He's just got to put together a good 66 laps. Pointless battle rages on. Dude, Nicky D, Wall Dog, he made us sweat this week. He finished in 12th. I mean, we were literally just 2 cars away. Maybe 2 guys slide out or whatever. I think it almost happened. I mean, a couple guys, Carlos Sainz slid out. Georgie, he slid out one time. I mean, either of those 2 guys, if they just get knocked back a couple places, Nicky D, Wall Dog, is getting points. But the F1 gods blessed us with a 12th place finish for the Wall Dog. Sarge really was helping us out. I mean, the dude was having a tough time in the back of the pack. He finished the race, though. We'll give him that. Good work, Sarge, finishing the race. Never even sniffed a point. Just not even close from the very jump. He was getting angry at Kevin Magnussen coming in and overtaking him. And it was kind of funny. The announcers were looking back at the camera where they had the hot mic on Sarge, and they showed the video of Magnussen coming over and kind of hitting him. And Sarge is like, what? What was that? And the announcer's like, that's what they call an overtake. Maybe I can cue up the clip. Maybe you would think it's funny too. Anyways, pointless.
Hulkenberg's gained 2 as we go wheel to wheel through there, and there's contact between Sargent and the Haas there in the background of Hulkenberg's. They're nearly parked up, nearly stationary at the hairpin, nudging each other through the corner.
That was the Haas coming into the back of him just beforehand, outbreaking himself.
Wait, what was that?
All race. Head down. Everybody, sorry.
This battle rages on. We're going to Spain. I mean, I don't think at this point Nicky D is going to make it the whole season. Apparently Sarge is, but Nicky D, I don't know. I'm worried about the dude. All right, everybody. Welcome to our favorite segment of the show. This is going to be where we talk about our fantasy league. Send it 3. This is literally the only place that I know of right now that you can go and get updates on what's going on in your Formula One fantasy league. So unless you guys know something I don't know about, don't get why everyone's not tuning in every single episode. But that's beside the point. Anyways, let's talk about what went down fantasy-wise in the Monaco Grand Prix. Well, let's take a look at our podium. Fantasy-wise, so we had kind of a crazy podium this week. We have 7 teams actually on the podium, which is weird, but this is fantasy. So we have 2 teams tied for 3rd place this week. We have our good buddy Reese Bobby snuck in there for a 3rd place, and a Better Call Gene, who is a player in the grand scheme of things. Both those teams got 2nd place. Awesome job. Now let's take a look at 2nd place. We have a familiar face, Chelsea Supreme, sitting in 2nd place. Big ups to No Stopping Me 2.0. Did an awesome job this week and put themselves in a 2nd place. Last but not least, a team that you might have forgotten about. Sebastian Vettel's year off. Wow. So all 3 of those teams in 2nd place. Now let's get to our big winner, or should I say winners. Washington F1 team tied for 1st place with Drive Fast, Turn Left. So a little bit unorthodox, but we're going to give the 1st place to both of those teams. So let's take a quick look right now at our standings for our Grand Prix Challenge for the season. So we have now 7 teams tied for 1st place with a win. No one has 2 wins yet. So race highlights: 1 Bahrain, Reese Bobby, 1 Saudi Arabia. Maxi V, my dog, took home the Australian Grand Prix. Yours truly took home the Azerbaijani Grand Prix. Then we went over to American soil in Miami, and Magic Man, number 1, Magic Man in Miami, got the dub in Miami. And in Monaco this past week, we had Drive Fast, Turn Left. Shout out. I know you're watching. And we have Washington F1 team with a win. So, bunch of teams right now with 1 win. So, that's a quick update on the Grand Prix standings. Let's look at our Bones Challenge. This past week, we had a bit of a mixed bag. It was the Versus week, which is very exciting. We had to choose which racer on each team would do a better job. And last but not least, I sprinkled a little bit of our man Sarge on there. So we had to guess which place Sarge would get. One person got it right. So that's pretty freaking good. Quick look at the results from this past week. Race highlights, and I'll change this later. Both of you guys did a great job. Tied for first with 8 points. No Mikey No, he was down in second place this week. Very unlike him with 7 points. Also Better Call Gene and Stroll Toll Racing, 7 points. Really, everybody did pretty well here. I mean, the worst team got 5 points. Reese, Bobby, Chow Baby, and Gastown all got 5. So pretty good. Yours truly, I'm on the board finally. So we are left with only Chad Stones and Sebastian Vettel's year off with 0 points. You know, maybe they'll join the party. Who freaking knows? Who cares, really, at this point? Who cares? Look at the overall standings. We have a tight race for the Bones Challenge winner. Right now, I will just give you a look at the top 4 teams. I'm going to put everybody else right up here, so you'll see them. But no Mikey No, 15 points. I mean, the dude, this team just knows what is going on when they look at the Bones Challenge. They're dialed in. They are averaging, wish I didn't say that because I can't do the math really quick. They're doing a good job. I'll change this later. Wow, coming out of nowhere with 14 points in second place. Good job. Race highlights, 13 points, third place. Danny Ricks, where is he? Well, he's sitting in fourth place with 12 points. Bunch of teams have 11. One team with 10. We got some people with 9. Really, like I said, I mean, Sebastian Vettel's year off, 0. Chad Stones, 0. A couple other teams with 1 point that came early on in the season. Makes me wonder how much participation we're getting from them. But hey, end of the day, someone's getting cash. At this point, it looks like it's no Mikey No. We'll see what happens. Speaking of cash, let's look at our overall standings. This is where the real cash money comes in. Who is in first place right now? Who's going to get the grand prize? So I'll give you guys a look at our top 5 teams. So for starters, we have our one team nipping at the heels. The other team is in 5th place. We got no Mikey No. He's a little over 100 points behind our first place team, but you never know what can happen. Now, right now we have a tie for 3rd place, which would result in splitting the cash prize. So we have Chelsea Supreme and a Better Call Gene sitting right there in 3rd place. You guys are doing well. In 2nd place, the 2-time former champ, Stroll Toll Racing, biding his time. I'm sure he's waiting for the right time to play a chip. It's going to get messy. He's in 2nd place. And in 1st place, the one who's going to be taking home the most cash, if the season ended today, Bones Racing, LLC. That's what I'm talking about. So that's a little bit of fantasy talk for you guys. Again, there's nowhere else you can go to get this kind of information. Literally only right here is where you can get this info because the website's not even updated at this point, so you can't even go there. So tune in to the freaking show, okay?